haven't seen you around, got me in a craze, been going through an awkward phase. I hate the taste it leaves us. I know your light's gone out, but are you still awake? Stuck inside a dull malaise, you seem so out of reach now. You won't step in, and out again, it's useless. It was everything, and the colors spin losing. Thought you'd be my So you're lying on the couch, but you wanna give it space. I'm slipping into your disdain. Don't be so cold and reckless. Well, maybe you're too proud, I can see it in your face. Or the silence could have cut the air. You won't step in, then out again, it's useless. It was everything, when the colors spin, we're losing. Thought you'd be my alibi.
How's it? So, legs hamstring focus today, and very nice, very good. I fucking absolutely wrecked them in those hamstring curls. Great shit. Squats, well, they were okay. I'm still feeling weirdly weak with them. I think it might be because of fatigue, but you know, I still pushed through and made sure I did what was necessary to see progress, because that's what you need, progress, not this loitering, droning behavior. Then I did a little bit of forearms and traps, because you know, invest in the little things as well, those little muscle groups that no one really wants to do, but you still have to do because you don't want to look weird. Great. So, story of today. So I was squatting, and it was my second last set. I racked the weight, and all of a sudden my left knee was feeling incredibly weird, and I was like, oh, fuck's sakes. Like, squats, why do they always have to do something? They always wreck you in some way. And I was thinking that the whole time. I continued, did my last set, just a bit lighter, made sure I finished off strong, and went on to the next exercise. And as I was walking home, I was like, oh, my knee's a bit buggered, blah, blah, blah. And then I sat down and I began to read the next chapter of my book. And funnily enough, the answers lie right in front of me. And today it really just comes down to how you relate things to each other. So in this case of me squatting, obviously I was squatting and I get up, I rack the weight, and I instantly relate the feeling of pain and discomfort within my knee to squatting. And really, what it most likely is, I didn't stretch well enough, and that's my issue. I didn't stretch well enough, and I know what I need to do next time. And I didn't warm up well enough, and I know what I need to do next time. And it's a funny thing how we often relate unrelated things to each other because they just so happen to be coincidentally in the same event, you know? So this is the grasp this is the sort of gist I got of it. There was a quote, again, don't quote me on it because I don't remember it precisely, but it essentially said, Plato, who's a philosopher, he was a philosopher and he was also big and strong. However, those two things have no relation to each other. They are coincidentally related, right? So this one person, he is a philosopher and he just so happens to be big and strong as well. Does that necessarily mean that all philosophers are big and strong? No, not at all. And that's essentially how you need to start looking at things in your life. This mindset that you can develop, I think it's an ideal way to have look at situations in your life, because more often than not, I feel people jump the gun and assume so-and-so is because of so-and-so, but really, more often than not, events are completely separate and have no relation to each other. And really what people need to do at the end of the day is take a step back and really just analyze what's happening and how said thing is actually coming to play. And again, this all roots back to that very basic thing of relax, calm down, don't say anything, don't jump to conclusions in this case, and take a moment to think. And that applies to everything in your life. Again, a gym example. I was waiting for the hamstring machine and this bloke was using it, and I naturally am a very agitated I get agitated incredibly easily, and someone doing two minor tiny things will really make me upset. I'm not gonna go and say anything or do anything, but in my mind I'm just gonna be a bit ticked off. And really, again, it comes down to relax, take a moment to think, what is actually going on here? Do these two things have relation to each other? Is the reason I'm being upset because the person's taking so long to finish with the machine? Or do I have a other reason for being upset? Maybe I'm hungry, maybe I'm tired, etc. And that's just a far better way of living, because you know that every action you make is calculated and decided upon rather than abrupt and potentially damaging to your situation. It also comes back to being the master of your own emotion, essentially, is don't let these little things affect your emotion, because at the end of the day, you're the one who controls the emotional value you place on things, and they kind of link together. It's you placing emotional values on things, so choose wisely the emotional value you place on something, but also analyze the relation that things have together, because more often than not, you're placing one emotional value on something when you should be placing two separate emotional values on something, on two separate things that are coincidentally in the same arena, you know. Well, I hope that's been a little bit of food for thought, and I hope you've enjoyed. I also hope you've enjoyed the new little thing I've figured out here, which is essentially something I enjoy doing is drawing. So I've decided to incorporate it into this in its own little way. Also just to, you know, keep you visually active, because I'm aware that it can be a bit difficult to set focus on just someone talking without food for your eyes, essentially. I know I'm goddamn handsome, but I doubt anyone particularly wants to be staring at me for like 10 minutes. So I hope you've enjoyed, and I'm sure it will be quite cool to gradually see the progression of my art, and pieces be finished, new pieces begin, kind of my sort of expression through art. And yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.